You know, animation has its fair share of dim-witted characters, but today, I've got something special for you. In this video, we're going to count down the absolute dimmest of the dimwits, the top 15 dumbest characters in the world of animation. So, no more waiting around, let's dive right in. Number 15, Ed and Eddy. Let's kick things off with Ed from the animated series Ed and Eddy. Ed is the poster child for simplicity, and his knack for getting easily distracted is a constant source of amusement. Now, it's important to remember that Ed's not necessarily dumb in the traditional sense. His lack of focus and attention span may be attributed to something more complex: attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. While the show doesn't explicitly state this, his behavior aligns with those who have the disorder. Number 14, Patrick Star from SpongeBob SquarePants. Moving on to the underwater world of Bikini Bottom, we have the endearing Patrick Star, the lovable starfish from SpongeBob SquarePants. Patrick proudly proclaims himself as the master of idleness, and he lives up to that title in style. Patrick's daily routine involves lounging under a rock, conveniently located next to the grumpy Squidward tentacles and his moai. He doesn't have a job or any real responsibilities, but he's a pro at making the most of his free time. With his quirky antics and blissful cluelessness, Patrick has captured the hearts of viewers everywhere. He might not have an Einstein-level intellect, but who needs it when you bring this much charm and humor to the table? Number 13, Ralph Wiggum. Now, let's talk about Ralph Wiggum, a true gem from the ever-popular Simpsons cartoon series. Ralph's not the brightest bulb in the box, but that's precisely what makes him so endearing. Peering into Ralph's mind is like diving into an enigmatic whirlpool. Some speculate that he grapples with severe learning and developmental challenges, while others suggest he might be dealing with a touch of childhood psychiatric quirkiness. The truth remains delightfully elusive, and that's part of the charm. Number 12, Chris Griffin. And here's Chris Griffin, the resident dumb character in the family-oriented animated series, Family Guy. Chris is no stranger to being the punchline, and his frequent lapses in judgment and general lack of smarts led him down some hilarious rabbit holes. He's the guy who thinks it's a brilliant idea to take a spin in the car without a driver's license, considers joining peculiar cults, and once famously mistook a urinal for a drinking fountain. You can always count on Chris for an abundance of comical misadventures. Number 11, Peter Griffin from Family Guy. Peter Lovenbroy Griffin, or as he'd say, Justin Peter Griffin. Peter is the star of the show in the American animated sitcom Family Guy. He's the proud husband of the lovely Lois Griffin and the father of 3 rambunctious kids, Meg, Chris, and the diabolical Stewie. It might surprise you to learn that this lovable but bumbling goofball was brought to life by none other than the show's creator and the voice wizard himself, Seth MacFarlane. And when it comes to looks, well, Peter is not about to win any beauty pageants. He might just be one of the most visually unconventional cartoon characters you'll ever lay eyes on. Number 10, Billy from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. William Billy, the quirky and lovable main character from the beloved animated series The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. At just 9 years old, Billy isn't exactly setting IQ records. In fact, his IQ is a mind-boggling -5, which is quite an accomplishment in its own right. But that's precisely what endears him to us. With his oversized pink nose and that shockingly bright orange ginger hair, Billy is a character who stands out from the crowd in all the right ways. While he might not be the brightest bulb in the box, he knows how to keep things interesting. Thanks to his absurd and often foolish desires, he's constantly getting his friends Grim and Mandy into some of the zaniest and wildest situations you can imagine. Number 9, Cosmo from the Fairly Odd Parents. Meet Cosmo Julius Cosmo. Voiced by the talented Darren Norris, Cosmo is one of the show's titular characters, and oh boy, does he leave a lasting impression. Let's face it, folks, Cosmo might not be the sharpest tool in the shed. In fact, he's in the running for the title of dumbest character on the show, and he has some fierce competition from Timmy's dad. But that's precisely what endears him to fans worldwide. With his wacky ideas and harebrained schemes, Cosmo has an uncanny talent for leading Timmy into all sorts of hilarious trouble. He might not have a genius IQ, but he sure knows how to bring the laughs. Number 8. Johnny Bravo. Now, get ready to meet Johnny Bravo, the animated character known for his chiseled physique, slick black hair, and Elvis-inspired swagger. But despite his charming looks, Johnny is widely celebrated as the show's resident dimwit due to his lack of intelligence and penchant for poor decision-making. Throughout the series, Johnny frequently finds himself entangled in the most ludicrous predicaments, all thanks to his glaring lack of common sense and questionable judgment. He's the guy who's infamous for his cheesy pickup lines, his unwavering love for his own reflection, and his uncanny ability to turn even the simplest task into a comedy of errors. Number 7. Dee Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory. She's considered one of the most entertainingly dumb characters in cartoon history. This pink-clad, airheaded character happens to be the best friend and neighbor of the boy genius, Dexter. However, she's more of a pest than a friend, much to Dexter's endless irritation. Dee Dee's selfish and rude behavior consistently gets on Dexter's nerves and, without fail, interferes with his brilliant experiments. She's blissfully clueless, astoundingly dim-witted, and can't seem to grasp even the most basic of concepts. All of this adds up to create some hilarious and often cringe-worthy moments on the show. Number 6. Bo Chan. While he might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, he's unquestionably one of the most entertaining members of the Sunflower class in the beloved animated series, Shin-Chan. At first glance, Bo Chan might come across as a bit slow and remarkably expressionless, but don't be too quick to judge. This guy has a cunning side that he doesn't reveal to just anyone. Surprisingly, he harbors a secret interest in all sorts of artistic and adult-oriented things that might catch you off guard. And let's not overlook Bo Chan's genuine passion for rock collecting. He's a bona fide connoisseur when it comes to different types of stones. You might even get a few tips from him on how to kickstart your very own collection. Number 5. SpongeBob SquarePants. This lovable character may not exactly be the genius of the deep, but he's got a heart of gold and a knack for whipping up delectable Krabby Patties at the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob leads us on a roller coaster of adventures in the vast Pacific Ocean, with his trusty sidekicks and friends right by his side. Whether he's taking on the nefarious Plankton or mastering the art of bubble blowing, there's never a moment lacking in excitement when SpongeBob's in the picture. Number 4. Homer Simpson. Now, there's no sugarcoating it. Homer is what you might call a bit of a dum-dum. He's made more head-scratching decisions than you can count, and his general lack of intelligence often results in side-splitting and occasionally cringe-worthy moments on the show. But that's just part of what makes him a timeless and endearing character. Number 3. Beavis and Butthead. Let's turn our attention to the iconic and uproariously entertaining duo, Beavis and Butthead, who hold a special place in the annals of animation history. These two teenage boys are celebrated for their impressively low IQs, knack for making questionable decisions, and their all-around aura of stupidity. Throughout the series, Beavis and Butthead enthusiastically dive into reckless and flat-out idiotic behavior, from setting things on fire to pursuing romantic interests with hilarious ineptitude. Their spectacular failures often lead to side-splitting and occasionally cringe-worthy moments, which have undeniably become a defining feature of the show. What's truly intriguing about Beavis and Butthead is that, despite their evident lack of intelligence, they've managed to secure a dedicated fan base and become beloved characters. Number 2. Goofy. Listen up, because we're about to discuss one of the most endearing and amusingly dim-witted cartoon characters of all time, the one and only Goofy. Conjured into existence by Walt Disney Productions in 1932, this lovable anthropomorphic dog has been delivering laughter for nearly a century. Sporting a distinctive southern drawl, a turtleneck, and a vest, Goofy is instantly recognizable as one of Mickey Mouse's closest pals. His clumsiness and bumbling nature frequently lead him into trouble, and it seems he can't seem to get anything quite right. But, despite his numerous flaws, we can't help but adore him. What makes Goofy so genuinely endearing is his boundless cheerfulness and unwavering optimism. Regardless of how often he stumbles or finds himself in precarious situations, he consistently dusts himself off and marches forward, reminding us all that sometimes it's the journey and not the destination that truly matters. Number 1. Pinky. And here we have it, the crown jewel of cartoon dimwits, Pinky, one half of the renowned duo Pinky and the Brain. Pinky is celebrated far and wide as one of the dimmest characters in the animated realm. This lovable and somewhat clueless lab mouse is the epitome of low IQ and a perpetual lack of intelligence, which, as you might expect, leads to some utterly hilarious and zany moments on the show. Throughout the series, Pinky's delightful dim-wittedness takes center stage, as he frequently misinterprets Brain's elaborate schemes and becomes easily captivated by even the most straightforward distractions. While Brain tirelessly plots world domination, Pinky is content to tag along, often steering their endeavors into the realm of delightful disaster. Their dynamic is a testament to the fact that sometimes it's the endearing, lovable goofballs who add the most laughter and charm to our favorite animated stories. Thanks for tuning in, and if you enjoyed the video about the goofiest characters in animation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell for more awesome content. Your support means the world, and thanks again for hanging out.